Hi, I'm Dr. Amir Karam, board-certified facial plastic surgeon and founder and creator of Karam MD Skin. I specialize in facial rejuvenation, which basically means I help people look as young as they feel. And on today's episode of Skin School, we're going to talk about a really timely topic, especially as we're getting close to approaching summer. I thought I'd give you guys an overview of some very common skin-related mistakes that you could be making that are actually going to age you, and some good practices that will keep you in the position, the fighting position, to defy skin aging. All right, folks, so let's break it down. Let's be real for a minute. Most of the world, most parts of the country, during the summer months, people are out and about way more than they ever are, right? I mean, winter, northern hemisphere, etc., not as much sun exposure, just weather is not as good, so we're out there less. Summertime, we want to enjoy it, right? We're gonna enjoy those beautiful summer days and get out and about, which is wonderful for our spirit, for our mood, for our vitamin D conversion, all those wonderful things. But it's terrible, terrible for long-term skin aging. And the reason is it's super simple. Sun, as beautiful and wonderful it is, it has so many beautiful benefits. When it comes to skin aging, it actually elevates all of the things that normally we want to avoid. So for example, fine lines and wrinkles, loss of collagen, pigmentation, sunspots, dry skin, increased pore size, dehydration. All of those things are going to be impacted directly by sun exposure. So basically what that means is that sun is a powerful accelerator of skin aging. Now you gotta remember, your skin is losing collagen, like literally losing collagen on a year-over-year elevated and increased slope from the age of 27 for the rest of your life. Collagen, you gotta remember, is the foundation of what skin is. I mean, it's what is the architect, it's the building blocks of what a cross-section of skin looks like. I mean, it's the stuff that builds the skin. So if your collagen is diminishing with time, that's where your skin starts to fold out itself, gets thin, and starts to become wrinkled, and all the other stuff that we hate to see. That is being accelerated by sun exposure. And in many studies and general observations about this, sun, people who are exposed to sun versus those who are not, found they could contribute up to 70% of skin aging. Now think about that for a second. I mean, we know our skin is aging anyway, but sun is accelerating that and is actually responsible for the majority of what happens to our skin. Now, probably the only additional thing we can do to accelerate that is also smoking. As you've seen what smokers look like over years, their skin looks terrible. Smoking is an accelerator, sun is an accelerator. A lot more people nowadays are exposed to sun than they are smoking, so it becomes more relevant to speak about it. Having said that, remember, at the end of it all, where do we get this evidence from? We look at people who live in areas of the world who have not seen a lot of sun from childhood all the way on, and their skin, even in their 60s and 70s, looks amazing. And I see it all the time with my patients. In addition, the other subgroup is people who have lived in those type of areas where they do get sun, but have been religious about sun protection their whole life, and they have amazing skin going into the future. Now, it's never too late. It's always possible, especially when you couple it with what I'm going to talk about in a moment here as the second thing you gotta continue to keep an eye on. But that is, at the end of the day, never too late. You gotta just manage the sun. So what does that mean? So number one thing you can do for sun protection is the obvious. It's sunblock, right? I've talked about this many times. I've shared almost every video, the importance of it. I'm doing it again now. But what it means in practice, in actual life, is you gotta start with a good sunblock, something that is mineral-based. And when I say mineral-based, it means like they're based on zinc and titanium. I'm not personally a huge fan of the chemical-based sunscreens. If you don't need to put something chemical on your skin, why do it? Physical blockers that are mineral-based, they actually form a physical barrier to block the sun from getting into. That's what zinc and titanium oxide do. So I'm a personal fan of those. I know a lot of other countries, especially European countries, have more variety of chemical-based sunscreens. That's not what we're focusing on. Just as a general kind of a rule, mineral-based is my preferred approach. Now, what are the characteristics of it? You want a zinc or titanium oxide level to be greater than 9%. And you also want there to be an SPF, sun protection factor, of 40 to 50 or above. You want it to be sweat-proof or waterproof, right? So when you put it on and you're active, you're running, going on a jog, or having a good time out there playing volleyball or chasing after your dog or whatever, you're not sweating through the sun protection. That's one. The second is you have to reapply regularly. Reapplication is usually in the order of like every 3 to 4 hours at the latest. So you got to bring that sunblock with you. You can't just put it on at home when you leave. You got to bring it with you, dry off your face if it's wet, put the sunblock back on, and then get out and enjoy yourself. And if you're out all day long, it's, I mean, you're looking at like 3 applications, in a given time. And the days are longer too. So if you're heading into the early evenings and it's still light outside, even though the UV index might be lower, you're still getting exposure. So use sun protection throughout the day, apply regularly. The other aspect of it is you got to know how much you're putting on. A lot of people underestimate how much sunscreen it takes to actually get an effective layer on there. It's not just like a pea-size amount. I mean, you're looking like more like a quarter-size amount and sometimes more. And I would urge you to put it all over your face and your neck at the same time. This neck skin is extremely susceptible to sun exposure, and a lot of people neglect their neck, and we see it, afterwards. Their face looks 10 years younger than their neck does in the crepiness of their skin and thinning of their skin. So make sure you're doing that from forehead all the way down to your clavicles, and even if you're gonna let your chest see some sun, do it this area, because a lot of people get frustrated when their décolleté starts to look aged as well. So sun protection, the quantity of the sunscreen, and the frequency are very important. Now, in addition to that, what's also extremely, extremely important is if you're not out trying to impress anyone, right? You're just having a walk with your dog or walk with your friends, etc. Put on some sun protective clothing. Wear a nice big hat that's UV based. And if you really want to take it to the next level, put on one of these Coolie Bar face masks. And, my wife's been using it for 3-4 years now, and it's helped her a lot, especially with her condition. She has a little bit of melasma. It's helped with that as well, but just all around keeps her skin out of the sun and more protected. Now, it's not the prettiest thing on earth, so I wouldn't go out to brunch and sit there and do it unless you're totally cool with it. But at the end of the day, majority of our time is spent in situations where we're not really in a position to worry about that. We just want to have fun and get out and about and do our things. So consider those things. Also, I think Solumbra and some of these other brands, Coolie Bar as well, makes some UV-based shirts and jackets and things like that. They're lightweight. You can wear those to get that neck and décolleté covered as well. Those are some basic things that you can do from a sun protection point of view that a lot of people really, really let down their guard in the summer. Less sunscreen, more fun out there, wear less protective clothing, and there's, summer is 3-4 months going into the fall, etc. It's a lot of damage. I mean, it's a fourth of the year that you're going to be really accelerating the aging process by doing these things. So I always say, if you care about your skin, step one, no matter what you do, starts with sun protection. I mean, it's like a non-starter for anything else that follows. Whether you're using great skincare like the Trifecta or any other brand, or you're going in and out of offices and doing all sorts of different treatments, if you're not starting with sun protection, you're literally treading water. You're not really making advances. All right, so I think I beat that one up pretty good, but I want you to really let that sink in and put some of those practices to task and know how important that is. All right, so let's talk about mistake number 2. You've heard me say this before. I have lots of videos on this very, very important topic, but the key to great skin, sun protection, and the use of active, daily use of ingredients that are going to work at the genetic level, that are going to increase collagen stimulation. So that means adding more building blocks and thickening up the skin, which will help with fine lines and wrinkles, which will help with suppleness and thickness of the skin, and more importantly, keep that skin from thinning further over time. So that starts with active ingredients like retinols, vitamin C, growth factors, certain peptides, etc. So that category is key. Vitamin C, retinol are 2 absolute must-use products if you're serious about anti-aging skincare, right? I mean, use all the expensive moisturizers you want, fancy packaging, all sorts of claims. But if you're not using retinols and vitamin C's and these ones that I'm mentioning here, growth factors, etc., you're not doing what's really fundamental to skin aging, which is collagen stimulation. Now, the downside of those products in general is they may increase the sensitivity to sun exposure. So using a full strength retinol, if you're using high concentration ascorbic acid, vitamin C, the net result is it can be a little harsh when you're out in the sun. So what do people do? They stop using those things. Out goes the active anti-aging skin products, increasing sun exposure, and now you're really doubling up on skin aging at that point, right? Because those things are what's making your skin younger, and you're eliminating them in the summertime when you're out and about because you're worried that your skin's gonna get more sensitive, etc. Now, there's a couple solutions. Number one, if you're really hardcore with your sun protection, the use of these products definitely should be well tolerated. Okay, again, I'm speaking from experience for my patients. My wife uses out and about in the sun all the time, year round, Southern California, San Diego. No issues from that point of view, but it starts with protecting the skin. Now, additionally, if you're not a retinol user and you want to use something that your skin can probably tolerate much easier, our trifecta, which is a cleansing, a full strength vitamin C, and a all-in-one, which includes retinol and growth factors and niacinamide and all those kind of lighteners and all the things that improve the skin aging issues. What we did was we split dose them, meaning that instead of getting the full dose in the evening, we did a microdosing, so you get a certain portion of them at night and a certain portion of the day. So it's an AM/PM treatment. In addition to those key components, like the retinol, it's a slow release retinol so that it doesn't hit the skin all at once. So it kind of slowly goes through the skin, so you can easily use it during the day without any issues with sun sensitivity, etc. So that was kind of my contribution or response to the fact that people don't use these products year round many times because of these issues, and this was kind of a formulaic answer to that issue. Now, no matter what, you got to use it though. You got to use something like these, because otherwise, if you're not using them, you're not defying aging. You're not actually making an impact. And during the summertime, people just kind of let go. But just remember, that's a lot of months to slide backward, because these things, these ingredients, these active ingredients that we're talking about, are working at the gene level. Remember, collagen stimulation happens at the fibroblast level, the cells that make fibroblasts. So you're upregulating the production of fibroblasts. Remember that curve I showed you where the collagen synthesis is going like this with age? Well, by using these products, you're increasing that. So you're ramping up again. That's so important. But also melanin, the pigment that causes hyperpigmentation, is produced by the melanocyte. So these individual active ingredients, for example, retinol, vitamin C, in trifecta, we have licorice root extract, we have daisy flower extract. These are things that are suppressing melanin from ever being produced in the first place. That suppression, once you stop using the product, is released, and now all of a sudden you're back to producing a bunch of melanin. So all the gains that you've made throughout the year, you lose during the summer if you're not conscious of this aspect. So this is very practical information I'm giving you. I'm trying to encourage you to do the right thing, but also giving you the reality is if you don't do the right things, you're gonna be paying the price for it. Your skin's gonna pay the price for it. So I know you guys all care too much about your skin. That's probably why you're watching this video in the first place. You really wanna do the right things. So suffice it to say, sun protection, consistent, year-round use of active products and sun protection combined, you're in the top 1% of skincare aficionados that are gonna basically see your skin get better as time goes on. All right, folks, I hope that set the grand stage, set the thing as we head into summer, gives you the energy and the commitment to do the right things. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like. If you really enjoyed this video and you think your friends and family would enjoy it and get something out of it, then by all means, please share it, because my whole thing is to empower you guys to make good decisions for yourselves and to spread the good word and get a lot of this confusion that's out there more simplified and clear as we head into this mysterious world of aging. Finally, if you like this type of content and you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, or if you just want to tell me what you thought of the video, I'd love to hear it. All right, folks, my pleasure. Dr. Amir, Karam, till next time.